What's up guys, Jacob here. I'm sitting down with the Yamaha YC88 stage keyboard. It's a great instrument and I'm excited to show it to you. Let's go. Let's start with a general overview of what we have on the instrument. It does have 88 keys, weighted keybed. You have a reverb section, speaker and amp modeling, another effects section. The toggle switches are kind of cool, I think. It's kind of slick. And then you have, of course, the keys section. You have piano, electric piano, synth, and another section that has instruments like strings in it. But the thing I find particularly fascinating about this keyboard is that it has an organ section with actual drawbars. And a lot of stage keyboards, kind of like this one, what do you have when it comes to organs? You have presets that you can't change very much. You know, it's kind of like what you might call like in a pinch sounds that you just call up quick when you need an organ on a gig on one song. But this keyboard has the weighted keybed. It's really made to be great for pianists, but it also has a dedicated organ section with physical drawbars you can move. We're going to get into some more specifics in a little bit, but let's first just listen to the beautiful CFX Concert Grand, which is the first piano sound you get on this instrument. I'll go through a few more sounds going through the presets here under Live Set. And of course you can personalize these, but they're all already set to certain sounds. So number 2 is a Rhodes, a 78 Rhodes. Sounds really nice. Number 3, FM piano. FM synth lead, so here's a synth sound. By the way, over here you have pitch bend and modulation here. Number 5, here's an organ preset so we can check out the organ sounds. Number 6 is a rock organ, and this preset already has a speaker setting, a speaker amp setting on it, so it's going to give you a little bit of drive, a little distortion. So there I'm changing the tone and the drive setting for that distortion. You'll probably see I'm also changing some settings on the organ over here. It's changing the rotary speaker from slow to fast. That's really cool. You have a dedicated Leslie feature on this, so you can change that setting while you're playing. While we're on organs, let's talk about the organ section. I'll go to preset 5, which is a jazz setting. Of course, I can bring in some higher drawbars. And right now I have percussion on, percussion off. I can change it from second to third, slow or fast, typical features for that. And then vibrato chorus, and you get 3 vibratos and 3 chorus settings. And of course a rotary speaker that you have stop and slow fast. So we can hear going from slow to fast and then stop on that rotary speaker. Then one thing you get in the organ, which is nice, is an ability to split. Because a lot of organ players, what do you want to do? You want to have a bass line that's a different drawbar setting from your higher setting, your right hand setting. Or maybe you just want to have a setting that's more for comping, that's a different drawbar setting than your lead melody part. So if you want to do that, you can. So here you have a lower upper button that you can switch between the drawbar settings for the lower setting and then for the upper. And then you have the split setting here. So if I were to turn low and upper split on, go to low, I can set the drawbar settings. So my split point is right here on this G right now. And then I can go to upper and I can change this drawbar setting. And remember, because you have those physical drawbars, you can do things that you would do on an organ. You can perform like you're on an organ. So if you want kind of a chiller setting that you can just comp on in one part of your song, kind of like this. Then you can throw on that Leslie and bring all your drawbars out if you want to and just go for it. So those physical drawbars give you an ability to be musical and really play it like an organ. Moving on to keys, we'll go back to the CFX Grand, which is the piano sound I started out with. You change sounds with the red toggle here. So here's an upright. And you change to the different categories of instruments with the knob here. So now we're in electric piano. There's a Rhodes synth section. Here's a pad. And in this section, you get volume, which you control for each key A and B section. And then you have tone. Which will let you make the sound brighter or darker. Then just like with the organ section, you have split settings, so you can set a left hand split and a right hand split or layer the sounds together, and that's where A and B comes in. So I can set, say, a saw pad that I have here on A. Then I can go to B and say I want that to be an electric piano. So if I wanted to layer two sounds in the keys section, I'd start with being on A, and I've already got a saw pad up. Let's say I want to keep that. Then I could toggle to B and say I'd like to do electric piano sound. So now I have a Rhodes and saw pad playing together. But then I can also split that too. So if I go to A and I click split, now the saw pad is on the right, on the left rather, and the Rhodes is on the right. The keys section has two effects you can add, effect 1 and 2. You turn them on and off there. And a quick thing to note is that when you're using key A and B, so you have two sounds playing from the keys section at the same time, it'll show you what effects you have for each one. So I can have two effects on key A. So if I toggle that on there, auto wah, and then up here I've got damper resonance. But then if I go to keys B, now I've got effects which are on my Rhodes sounds. So that is a harmonic enhancer and a reverb. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the Rhodes off. So now we're back just to the saw pad. That's the auto wah that I just turned on. I can go to touch wah, change the depth or the rate. And there are tons of effects in here. Pedal wah, delay, digital delay, analog, reverb. It's really loaded. Flanger, phaser, distortion. It's great. You can really, and it's cool that you can add two and for each A and B keys. Then next to that you have another effects section that you can either apply to organ, key A, or key B. So actually that gives you a third effect you could add to either of the key sections, either sound A or B in keys. So I could add, say I want to add some compression to my organ sound. Now I have effect routing to the organ. So if I were to turn the organ on, don't need that much. So you can really hear that compressor hitting hard because the depth is all the way up. If I turn it down, let's go to a Rhodes sound, let's say, to show you the speaker amp effect. Let's do a crunch, turn up some of the drive, a little tone there, put it on key A, which is a Rhodes. That's pretty cool, actually. Next to speaker amp is reverb, and once again you can apply that to organ, key A or B, or all three, which is neat. Of course you'd probably want to do that. And you have depth, which controls how much reverb you're sending through. And then finally at the end you have a master equalizer with a low, mid, and high, and you can even set where the mid frequency is being applied. So we've listened to a lot of pianos and organs, but let's listen to some other sounds just so you can get a feel for how they sound. If we go to the synth section, here's another pad. Of course there are more than just pads. We could do, let's say, here's a pop synth string sound. That one has a rhythm to it. Here's synth brass. We We have an effect from the last sound on there, which is an auto pan, which is doing that rhythm. So let's turn that off. Here's an OB brass. But then if we go to other, you have some real sounds. You have some real instrument sounds. So here's marcato strings. Fast strings. Pizzicato strings. And this is cool. I mean, you've got a lot of different articulations here for strings. And a tape string, so this has like a natural effect built into it. Then we keep going ahead, steel guitar. Here's, let's see, sitar. That's so fun. And you might notice, check this out. You can still hear the sitar, right? That's because when you change sounds, the previous sound won't drop out. It's a really nice feature. And then we have brass. Here's some real brass. Yeah. And then some solo instruments too. There were solo string instruments as well, but here's trumpet. There's a lot of character to it. A lot of times the horns and keyboards like this don't have that kind of sound to them, but it's pretty authentic. I'm impressed. Just holding that note. You can hear breath in it. You can hear that vibrato. It's surprisingly authentic. Trombone. Sax section. Alto here's sax section. Jazz flute. So you get two articulations in this one flute sound. If you dig in a little more, you get a different sound. A couple more sounds here. Harmonica. Here's FM harmonica. And then actual harmonica. Of course, there are some basses in here too. Upright bass, finger bass. Fretless bass. Slap bass. I had to, I couldn't resist. Jazz vibes. Marimba. So as you can see, this instrument has more than just great pianos, electric pianos, and an organ section. It has so many more sounds than that. That other section that's here in the keys, it's stocked full of stuff. I mean, we just went through strings, it's got brass, it's got all kind of world instruments. So this stage keyboard really is a very versatile instrument. It's something you could use on just about any gig. All right, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed checking out the YC88 with me. If you have any questions about it, please comment those below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, click here for more videos like this, or go to sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.